Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out the demo for Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. So I released my first impressions earlier today. You guys really seemed to enjoy that video, so I'm going to go ahead and play through the demo today. And this video is mainly for those that don't have the time to download the demo and play it for themselves. So if you just want to see what the demo's like, just keep watching. Now, what is this game all about? Well, Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown is a story-driven survival game in which the fate of the iconic starship is in your hands. Take the helm, manage the ship and resources, and make difficult decisions. Will you be able to bring home the ship and its crew? It's worth mentioning that this is just a demo, and as such, everything that you're about to see is most definitely subject to change. I had to turn the music off. I don't know if it's protected under copyright or not. It is not like thematic. It's not the original Voyager theme, which is unfortunate. I guess they couldn't get the licensing for that, nor did they get the licensing yet. Hopefully they will. They didn't get the licensing for the voice acting either. So we don't get to hear Kate Mulgrew talking or Tim Russ, whoever. Like, we don't get to hear the actual voice actors talking either. I'm not knocking the theme, though, because there are plenty of Star Trek games that have been released before this that have excellent soundtracks. Star Trek Legacy, there's a ton of them. Elite Force, I think, is another one I liked. Legacy, oh gosh, there's quite a bit. Anyway, let's just dive right into the demo. I'm going to go ahead and start a new profile for this because I played through it once already. All right, you were the captain of the Federation starship USS Voyager. Okay. As I said, there's really no narration here. Hopefully they get, like, Kate Mulgrew to narrate this. That would be ideal. Or maybe, like, if they can get, I don't know, Barkley, Dwight Schultz, I think his name is, I can't remember, Barkley or somebody. Just somebody to come in and read this. Like, that would be really cool. And this takes place right here before, like, Voyager investigates the Maquis in the Badlands. So this is the story of them getting lost in the Delta Quadrant. We have no control over this part. It's just the introduction to the whole game. Alright, gentlemen, welcome to Voyager. Ensign Kim, you're fresh from the Academy, ready for your first deep space assignment? Reporting for duty, Captain. It's an honor to be here. I hope I live up to your expectations. If you look closely enough, you can see it doesn't exactly resemble Ensign Kim. I guess they had to take certain liberties to... I mean, the name is the same. It's not like his name is, Jerry Lim or something. At least they did get the names in Voyager right, but the likenesses, they're kind of there. They're kind of there. Ensign Kim, I trust you've already met Tom Paris, our esteemed observer, a former Maquis pilot who will help us search the Badlands for the Maquis vessel. With all due respect, ma'am, observer is hardly a title befitting my talents. I'm the best darn pilot in this sector. Call me pilot extraordinaire, Ensign. The Maquis? Well, I heard a lot of stories about them. Relax, I was with the Maquis only a few weeks before I was captured and sent to a lovely penal colony in New Zealand. You see, this is, like, not in the original episode. Harry Kim and Tom Paris actually met on Deep Space Nine, where Quark was trying to swindle Harry Kim. And Tom Paris came to his rescue. So, again, this game takes certain liberties. I see it as like an alternate universe Voyager. That's how I see it anyway. So I'm going to skip past some of this dialogue and get right down to it. Long story short, Janeway is searching for the Maquis in the Badlands. Alright. Alright, they are currently looking for the Maquis. A displacement wave is heading towards us. This is the part where Voyager gets thrown. Yeah. Brace for impact. The cutscenes are pretty good, though, I gotta say. Alright, damage report. Major hull and deck damage. The transporters are offline and we're receiving casualty reports. Bridge to sickbay, doctor. I've got injured crew on the bridge. Doctor, damn. Okay, so another difference here. Sickbay is actually offline here, but in the show, like, it was damaged, but it wasn't offline completely. Alright. So warp core is gone to gray mode. We're on reserves barely. Alright, so this is where Mr. Parrish takes the helm. Stellar cartography must be down. Voyager's blind. And this is, some of you actually corrected me on my last impressions video. I mentioned earlier in the previous video that stellar cartography wasn't a thing until Season 4. Astrometrics wasn't a thing till Season 4. I got stellar cartography and astrometrics confused. Apparently every starship has stellar cartography, which makes sense. Which we kind of saw in Generations, the movie. Anyway, Janeway to engineering, we need stellar cartography back online now. So I'm going to skip the tutorial stuff because I've already played through it. But long story short, it's telling me to power this room. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it on. It's going to cost me 3 power and 2 crew. It's kind of hard to see, but on the very top here, there's crew. It says 36 out of 50. And there's also 1 out of 1 work teams. So I need 2 people to man this once I have it powered, and as well as 3 power to keep it running. And there's energy over here as well. Warp core in gray mode, but we'll be taking care of that in a little bit. Okay, we're going to switch that on. Sensors are picking up something out there. All right. And that is the caretaker array. If our sensors are working, we've jumped over 70,000 light years into the Delta Quadrant. Captain, life support systems are failing. This array will have to wait. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Find us a deuterium source. I don't remember that in the episode either. So now we're here, and this is like the system map. We'll be able to go from planet to planet to planet to search for resources. So we can kind of like take breaks from our primary objective to make sure Voyager is fixed and up to date and all that stuff. We're going to go ahead and scan that planet there, and we're going to scan that planet there. Now we can get deuterium. All right, again, I'm going to skip all that tutorial stuff. Okay, we're going to go to this planet first because it's closer. There is duranium here, which is used to construct things in Voyager. So I'm going to go there first. You can hold the button and set a course. All right, and this is the part where it's a little RNG. We have choices that we can make, but the choices will depend on what we have fixed inside Voyager. It's kind of hard to see, but it says in this grayed out area, Engineering Office Level 1. We do not have an Engineering Office yet. If we did, we could make use of that option, but we don't have it. I'm going to go ahead and just select that one. Okay, so it rolled the die, and we're in the yellow there, so we didn't get as much duranium as we probably could have. We'll go ahead and hit continue. Now we'll move on to here. Set course. We can zoom in if we want. Collect any easily accessible resources or use tractor beams to try and clump up the debris. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. 653 if we get lucky. Of course not. 228, that's fine. And again, we can zoom in, we can zoom out. That's kind of nice. I'm going to go and continue scanning. There's duranium down there. There's more up there. I guess we'll jump to that. Alright. We can risk to fly directly into the atmosphere, or we can deploy collector probes. I think we're going to do that. We don't want to damage Voyager any more than it already is. Great, we finally got a good result, 418. Alright, we now can deactivate gray mode. And lots of tutorial stuff, so we just have to kind of play along. So this is the warp core tutorial. We're going to click on main engineering here. It's this very Fallout sheltery and the way the ship is laid out. We're going to click on engineering there, and we're going to click on this tier 1. If you've ever played like Frostpunk, you can kind of like increase the power to the core. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here in this game. We're going to click on the tier 1, and it's inactive right now, but once we do activate it, it says 1 deuterium is 5 energy. We'll go ahead and click on that. Alright, energy levels are returning to normal. Alright, so now what about this array? Alright, so there is a Maquis vessel nearby. We can scan for life signs, chance 100%, or try hailing them. Let's go ahead and scan for life signs. And there's no one on board, so we'll scan the array. That said 40% plus 35% chance of success. We got a little success right there telling us that we did fine. Is one of them Vulcan? I'm not sure. The signals are weak. We'll just have to see for ourselves. I want the transporter room repaired and ready. This is another difference. As soon as they got here, they were beamed off by the caretaker. So, yeah. So instead of beaming down, like, I believe they were just all abducted. We now have all duranium we need. Okay. So engineering is standing by to repair the transporter. So we're going to click on the transporter room. I'm going to zoom out real quick, though, just so I can show you there's the entire ship there. There's life support. Torpedo bay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to repair, and this is where we need those repair teams. That's what this here is, the work teams. So we're going to assign one work team here. It's going to take 0 cycles and 14 of this duranium. So we're going to repair that. And it's already ready, so we're going to click the button. Transporters are back online. Set a course for the array. It's time we got some answers. All right. Before we do that, I just want to scan this real quick. It's more of that. We have a maximum storage of 1,000 deuterium. I'm going to come back to that later then. There may be some slowdowns or some lag. Again, this demo doesn't appear to be like fully optimized, typical of a demo. All right, Ensign Kim and Mr. Paris, get ready for your first away team. All right, away missions present a series of challenges. Yeah, we know that. Okay, so we're going to pick different people for these away missions, and each one has different skills, also like attributes. They also have like specialties, like Harry Kim is quick-witted. Tom Paris is a pilot, so we're just going to add them here. Start mission. Okay, so we materialized in the middle of a cornfield. So here we'll be able to choose how we want to respond to these situations. Off to the left, you can see the challenges. There's 4 of them, and the icons tell us like what specializations or what skills these characters should be using in order to complete these challenges. So, for example, for 29 of this Starfleet insignia, for 29, we can do this. 33 of the science, we can do that. Harry Kim has 29 of that science, so we'll go ahead and choose him. Scan for any life signs or strange energy signatures. We'll click and hold. I did not get a single failure in the last session that I did on my own. But hey, this is good, right? I mean, this is good to show this off. Okay. They're just about to give up hope when they stumble upon a farm with people working in the fields. An old man sits on the porch of a nearby farmhouse strumming a banjo. So as we use crew members, they become fatigued. So if we use Harry Kim again, his stats are going to be reduced. So we're going to do, I don't know, try to read his body language for any clues. Or we can try this one, which is harder. We get plus 15 science if we do that one. So if we did that one, for example. I want to see what happens if we fail everything. Oh, okay. That would be hilarious. Harry and Tom step forward, squaring their shoulders and demanding answers. Okay. Now, we can combine, I can click on both this and this to make sure that something gets completed, but that will fatigue both of them. So, I don't want to do that. Let's just choose this one for Harry Kim, which is try to analyze what these energy readings could be. And they're looking at the barn right now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just hold in the confirm button. Alright, we're good there. Harry and Tom analyze the energy readings, confirming advanced holographic technology masking the wall. Before he can pinpoint the source, the people from the field burst in, wielding farm tools as weapons. Again, that didn't happen the exact way it is, but again, alternate universe Voyager thing. The old man appears and reveals the barn is an illusion. Okay. So now we see a tattooed man and a half Klingon woman lying on surgical tables. Okay. These people must be the missing Maquis. They are being held here. We must get them out of here. So we're going to go ahead and just have Tom wake up the tattooed man, because we don't know it's Chakotay. You know, we'll go ahead and do that. But you could choose up to wake up B'Elanna first if you really wanted to. And it says your choice has consequences. So you can, I guess, change the course of the game by making these key decisions. So maybe next time I'll try B'Elanna and see what happens there. Okay, so the mission is complete. No injury bonus, critical successes. So as you can see, we earn XP and resources for doing that. So these characters, these heroes, will level up over time. Another thing I like. Alright, a sudden return. Captain Janeway anxiously awaits the return of her away team when Tom Paris unexpectedly materializes behind her. What happened on the array? What happened over there, Mr. Paris? We lost contact with you for several hours. We were only there for only an hour, right, Harry? Harry was just right beside me. Then he's still on the array. But why were you released and not... The Maquis are hailing us. Put them on screen. Okay. This is where Chakotay starts stepping in. I'm Commander Chakotay of the Maquis. My Chief Engineer B'Elanna Torres is missing. Is she with you? And I'm guessing that B'Elanna would be answering this now if we had chosen her to wake her up instead. That's my best guess anyway. No, Commander. One of our own is missing too. It seems we share a problem. We can make it make sense if we solved it together. Alright. 3 of us will beam over to your ship. Alright. So, despite Janeway's invitation, the arrival of Chakotay and his Maquis crew on the bridge is fought with tension. Both sides remain wary as they prepare to discuss their shared predicament. Captain, this is Seska, one of my engineers, and Tuvok, my... Oh, I know who he is. I'm glad to have you back, Tuvok. As am I, Captain. Commander Chakotay, I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate your crew. And you can see on the top it says Chakotay recruited, Tuvok recruited, so these heroes are being added to our roster, as it were, to be used in away team missions and the like. Okay, so, yeah, pretty much this is just Chakotay. Oh my gosh, you betrayed me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, so let's focus on bringing Torres and Kim back from the array. We can't get back inside. They've sealed the entrances and are blocking incoming hails. Alright, Lieutenant Tuvok, get down to engineering and find a way to bypass whatever's jamming our communications. Report back as soon as you have a solution. Alright. Okay, so he's just pretty much telling us that crap is offline right now. And the way this works is there's life support on every deck. And right now deck 5 is I think the only one working, or possibly there's more down below. But yeah, so life support is needed to bring things online in the same deck. We'll go ahead and switch that on. Life support restored on deck 5. Engineering office is now accessible. Alright. So we're going to the engineering office. We're going to go ahead and repair that. 1 work team, 2 cycles. Cycles is like a measure of time in this game. In the upper middle, it says 30 cycles right now. So every cycle takes deuterium, like, because that your warp core is depleting the deuterium and stuff like that. So that the game is broken up into turns or cycles. All right, so we're going to go to repair that. And that's going to take 2 cycles. All right, so he wants us to scan the other planets to possibly get more resources. We'll go and check over here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and set a course over there. Engineering office is good to go. We'll enter the ship. Click on that. We now have an additional work team to carry out 2 tasks simultaneously. So now we can fix up 2 rooms instead of 1. Okay. We should now focus on deck 2 and the mess hall to ensure the crew's food supply, maintaining their physical endurance. This requires reactivating life support in this section. Alright, so now the game is talking to us about morale. That's what that purple bar is in the upper left. It says 3,000 right now. We're losing 100 per cycle because of emergency rations being enabled and some crew not having crew quarters. So we're going to click on that. We're going to switch the life support on. And now we can activate or repair the mess hall. Repairs in progress. Until completion, we should address crew accommodation. So, like in, say, this War of Mine, which is another kind of game similar to this, you're going to be, like, digging out rooms and making them available. That's what you're doing here. So, we click on a room, and that's the build menu. This is saying we can clear debris. We're going to get 10 of that duranium, I think it's called. So we'll go ahead and do that. While waiting for our work teams to finish, we should continue to collect more resources, which is what exactly we're doing. All right. The mess hall is repaired. Click on that. We should switch for the replicator rations. Okay. So we're going to switch from emergency rations, which is minus 50 on the morale, to premium replicator rations, which is plus 10. All right. And then back to the system view, and then we're going to interact with this. We'll use the tractor beam again to collect the resources. Great. So, yeah, 494. We lost 80 because, well, we didn't have enough storage space, which is fine. Let's go ahead and scan for... Yeah, we want that. We need more building material, that duranium. Ruined room is now dismantled. Now we should be able to build crew quarters for them. Tom Paris is complaining. That does not... Out of all of the likenesses, this Tom Paris... That does not look at all like Tom Paris. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and build our room. So we're going to click on an empty room. And you can see there's like... I'll click on them so you can see what's possible. There's large battery compartments, and large cargo bays, cargo bay. So there's that. There's also crew stuff like emergency quarters. There's crew quarters. There's officers' quarters. There's observation lounge, holodeck, sick bay. Technology-wise, there's science laboratory, hydroponics, large hydroponics, biolaboratory, waste deassembler. Yeah, there we go. Borg technology. I'm looking forward to this. Regeneration alcoves, cutting beam control room, shield matrix, Aeru facility, neuroelectric field generator, and Borg maturation chamber. That's cool. I'm glad that they got Borg stuff in here. But for now, we're going to do the emergency quarters, -1 morale per cycle, but it's better than not having any at all. So we're going to go ahead and throw that like right there. And it's going to take some time to build. All right. And we're getting a call. The array's jamming signal has been neutralized. We should be able to reestablish communications. Let's hope they respond. Hail the array. So the caretaker is responding. Why are you bothering me? Oh, it's you. Why are you back? You don't have what I need. I remember that voice, Captain, the old guy with the banjo, though he seemed a lot less jellyfishy back on the array. I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation starship Voyager. We mean you no harm. We just want our people back. Your people are no longer here. They might have what I need. You'll just have to leave them. So we can do a number of different things here. Each one has different chances of success. We could even let Chakotay talk if we want, but we'll just scan the array for Harry and B'Elanna. So we don't trust them. We're going to scan the array anyway. No sign of them, and no humanoid life forms indicated at all. Who or what are we talking to right now? I guess we'll appeal to his humanity. Tell us where they are. Okay, I understand, but I had no choice. There just isn't enough time. I must honor a debt that can never be repaid. Find something that cannot be found. Offer your help. What you're looking for? What are you looking for? Maybe we can help. I've searched the galaxy with methods beyond your comprehension. No, there's nothing you can do. You're stealing my time. Don't you understand? I don't have time. Not enough time. Okay, so we've been cut off from communication. And Chakotay seems to approve of this. The array has been sending energy pulses toward the 5th planet of the neighboring system since our arrival, the Ocampa planet. Alright. It seems our paths are intertwined. Let's use this opportunity to find our people and bring them back. Alright. Before we jump there, I want to collect the uranium that's currently there. Okay. So we'll take repair parts of the mining station. Yeah, we'll do that. Ooh, that was close. Okay, so we got 59 there. Great. And we can store 100. So I think that's good for now. We're going to jump to the sector view. And as you can see, there's 3 different sectors here. So we're going to jump down there. Alright, life support is active. Alright, enter ship. Alright, emergency quarters are online. Great. Now, is there anything else while I'm here that I may want to do? It seems like when I zoom out, I get a lot of lag, so I'm going to try really hard not to do that anymore. Let's just navigate this way. It's going to take a little longer because I can't see as much. Science laboratory. Torpedo launcher, sick bay. Alright, let's... What does it want me to do? There we are. Okay, so we're here, and it wants us to go here. I guess we'll head there, set course. Looks like we've got enough deuterium. I don't want to get soft locked by repairing too much. Captain, we reached our destination. Let's just continue. Alright, what a ride. Voyager handles like a dream. Alright, so... we're going to prepare an away team. We can do an optional scan of the planet, check for the energy impulses. We'll do that. Anything noteworthy about the energy pulses? They are consistently targeting a single location. I recommend an away team investigates that area. Alright, there is something else. The interval between each pulse has decreased by 0.47 seconds since we left the array. They're getting faster. The entity and said he's running out of time. Okay. Let's do a general scan of the planet. It has all the basic characteristics of an M-class planet, but no ocean, no river, no nothing. Alright. Prepare an away team. We'll examine this world firsthand. Yeah, yes. I was wondering when he would show up. A small ship is approaching. They're hailing us. Alright, a peculiar alien with a mischievous grin greets Voyager from his chaotic vessel. Neither Starfleet nor the Maquis has ever seen a species before, perhaps an inhabitant of the Delta Quadrant. Greetings, looking for something on this dusty old rock? Would we find anything, Mr. Neelix? Never seen a ship like yours. Let me guess, you were whisked away from somewhere else in the galaxy and brought here against your will. Sounds as though you've heard this story before, thousands of times, well, hundreds of times, maybe 50 times. But the caretaker has been bringing ships here for months now. The caretaker. That's what the Ocampa call him. He probably snatched some of your crew too, right? They're likely down on the planet with the Ocampa. But Captain, it's a tricky place, dangerous. You could use a guide, but of course, a guide needs a little, compensation. Sounds fair. Wonderful. To be honest, I've had it rough recently. Those pesky void voles have been nibbling away at my supplies. Some food and water would be most welcome. If you help us find our missing crew, you can have all the food and water you want. It's a deal. Okay, so now, according to the upper left, we have to skip cycles or continue exploring until Neelix is ready to talk. So, we're just going to scan nearby areas and try and get some resources. That has that. Scan that. Alright. Lots of deuterium. That's 3 cycles away. Let's go for that. You know what? Before we do that, let's repair something. I know we're going to need the sick bay. So we're going to set a team to repair sick bay. 1 work team, 3 cycles, 15 uranium. And we'll also do the science laboratory. That's something that we will need later in this tutorial anyway, just to get the ball rolling so that we're not waiting longer than we have to. But now we will need, let's go back to the system view and come back up here, gather some more. Science laboratory is good to go. Great. Again, it doesn't like that zoomed out view, so we won't do that. Torpedo launcher bay. What else do we have access to? This is a shield generator. Let's go ahead and clear out, we'll clear out some space, because why not? Alright. Sick bay is now good to go. And receiving a call. What a delicious meal, a culinary masterpiece. I've never encountered such a tangy but comforting, smooth yet vibrant concoction. What was it called? Tomato soup. Tomato soup. I'm something of a culinary wizard myself, you know. My Alfarian hair pasta bowl is widely known for its bold, mouth-watering taste. Mr. Neelix, I'm pleased you are enjoying yourself, but we need your assistance now. Okay. So he's telling us to scan the southern continent and be on the lookout for the Kazon Ugla encampment. Kazon Ugla. One Kazon sect of many. They control this part of the quadrant. Okay. I thought you said the Akampa had our people. Well, the Akampa do have your people. It's just finding them is a bit tricky. My old pal, Maj Jabin, the Ugla leader, might know where to look. He's a nice guy, a bit gruff, but he owes me a favor. Okay, so we're going to send an away team down. Alright, so, yeah. So we're going to go there in a minute. Let's just make sure that we've got something else. Well, before we do that, I think we're here to get this. Might as well collect it. Yep. Ooh, okay. So 3 crew got injured, unfortunately, because we landed in the bad result there. We did get 13 of this duranium, though. Alright, let's head back to the planet. We do have sickbay operational, so yeah. We've reached our destination. Let's go ahead and send an away team. Alright, so Neelix has the botanist trait, as well as this Federation logo. I don't know what that is, but it's like the Federation symbol, as well as like a repair icon. So let's pick Chakotay, because he has, well, Tuvok is a botanist as well, and he's a botanist. Let's go with Chakotay and Tom Paris. That way they've got different specialties. Botanist, survivalist, pilot. I think that's fair. Start mission. And again, this is another one of those like adventure missions where we have to pick who's going to handle certain situations based on their skills. Our tricorders are malfunctioning, probably because of the energy impulses. How do we get our bearings in this dust bowl? So, with the survivalist trait, I can orient yourself using the cardinal points. So, we'll have Chakotay do that. Okay, success. That yellow one is critical success. So, there was no risk of failure there, which is nice. But as you can see, his stats are now depleted a little bit because he's fatigued. A sandstorm is headed our way. We need to find cover fast. Well, let's have Neelix and Tom Paris. Let's just do... The next one is Federation, or... I don't... We could have Chakotay handle that by himself, so we'll do that. We'll have Neelix and Paris team up for that. The away team quickly gathers rocks and wood, constructing a makeshift shelter. They huddle together as the sandstorm rages around them. After a while, the sandstorm subsides, the away team emerges. Okay. We've reached our settlement. How should we approach the people here? Well, let's do that and approach in a typical Starfleet manner. Or we can let Neelix do the talking. I mean, yeah, he's fatigued already, but we can risk it. Oh, good job, Neelix. Good job. This greeting does not have any effect. The women and children seem to recognize him, but they back away with grim expressions. The men approach cautiously, weapons in hand. A tall Kazon emerges from the settlement, Jabin, their leader. At the sight of Neelix, his face turns red with rage. In the background, a badly bruised young woman who looks nothing like the Kazon, but more like a human with pointy ears, peers around the corner. Okay. Seems like the Kazon don't find Neelix as charming as he led us to believe. How should we appease the captain? Assure them they have no bad intentions. I mean, I guess. We'll just team up there. Guarantee a success. Alright, the away team calmly explains their peaceful intentions, emphasizing their desire to find their missing crew. Okay, I'm just skimming through this now. Okay, so pretty much... Yep. So Neelix is demanding for the girl to be free. This is typical of the episode itself. And as you can see, we also earned 100, I guess, happiness or something with that particular crew member because we chose that particular option. Things are getting out of hand. We should retreat. Okay. So let's just team up for our last one. We'll do that one, and that should be good. Critical success. Kess is recruited. Using their tactical training, the away team identifies the safest escape route and quickly retreats. The Kazon erupt in a mocking laughter, seeing the away team's flight as a sign of weakness. Okay. Well, we got some resources for our trouble. We got Kess rescued, and we leveled up a bit. But I can't wait to come back to this game in the future and try out different choices. I want to be a jerk in one playthrough. I just want to be a jerk. Anyway, safely back on Voyager, Neelix surprises the rest of the away team as he and the rescued woman kiss passionately. How deep does the relationship between these two go? Okay, so Neelix and Kess are like, oh, thank you for rescuing me, blah, blah, blah. You lied and endangered my crew. This is not how trust is built, Mr. Neelix. And Kess is like, sorry. The access to the underground city is controlled by the caretaker. There's a tunnel, but the caretaker has sealed it with a security barrier. We may be able to transport through the barrier if we had the slightest breach. A transporter signal amplifier would be necessary. Kess, can you help us once we've located the breach? Of course, it's the least I can do. Okay, so now we have to build that transporter buffer thing. Okay. And this is where the science lab comes in. I already repaired it, so we don't have to wait for that to be done. Computer initiate emergency medical holographic program. Introducing the doctor. With no other options available, Captain Janeway activates Voyager's emergency medical hologram. A shimmering figure materializes in sickbay, ready to provide critical care. One of my favorite characters. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Our chief medical officer is dead. You have to take care of sickbay for now, and this is the patient, Kess. There's no need for concern. I am capable of treating any injury or disease. A broken ulna, a few minor bruises and grazes. Nothing I can't handle. You are in the most capable hands, young lady. They didn't include his famous line from the caretaker episode. Medical tricorder. Anyway. Thank you, doctor. That's very kind of you. I expect you to do your best. Okay. So now we got sickbay up and running. Now we got this science laboratory. Let's go ahead and it says transporter signal amplifier 3 cycles. We'll go ahead and start that. All right. And now we're just waiting for that to be done. Is there anything else that we can repair in the meantime? Let's repair the shield generator because shields are important, I think. And then we'll go back to our system view. And let's get some deuterium. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, 392 stored. We're back to max again. Okay, let's head back there, I guess. All right, we repaired the shield generator, and we also got the ruined room dismantled. Go back to the ship here. And that is done, and that is done. Okay. Let's take a look at what else is damaged. The phaser control room. Let's go ahead and repair that. Great. And as you can see, the rest of this is all ruined. So we're going to be adding a lot more rooms over time. And at some point, we may want to consider adding another crew quarters room too. Let's get the torpedo launch bay fixed as well. We're getting low on duranium, so we're gonna have to do something about that. Okay, let's go ahead and skip a cycle. I think we're currently resource transporter signal amplifier. Skip cycle. There we go. Transporter signal amplifier is done. The blueprints for the signal amplifier are complete. To start production, we'll need to repair the workshop, which we may not be able to do until we repair those other things. Skip a cycle. Phaser control room is now repaired. Close report. Now we'll go ahead and fix that. Great. Now the question is it online? Yeah, it looks like we repaired it. It's online. Mess hall. Yeah, phaser control room is now manned. That's good. We can also, if we go to Heroes tab, assign people to these rooms to make them more efficient make the room more efficient. So this assigning Tuvok increases the fire rate of the phaser array. So we could do something like that. I'll go ahead and assign Tuvok to that because, we can. If we go to the science laboratory, we can assign the doctor to the science laboratory. And we could assign Kess to sickbay, because we could. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll have Kess running sickbay. Even though she really wouldn't be ready to do that yet in this stage of the game. 29% to room efficiency. The game actually tells you the doctor would be 53% to room efficiency. Sickbay 29%, Kess 29%. So let's maybe assign the doctor to that, maybe. That might be more, better. Although, yeah, and we'll assign Kess here. Plus 14% to room efficiency. We'll do that. So, and just to sum it up, you can assign the main characters to different rooms to make them more efficient. All right, the game is telling me to check out the tech tree. This is my favorite part of games like this, and I'm getting a lot of lag, so I apologize there. But there are 5 tabs, and we'll just leave it at that. All right. I wonder if it's because we were zoomed out. Let's try going back in here again. Ah, there we go. It's because we were zoomed out in the Voyager view. That's what it was. Now we can actually look through this without the lag. Okay, good. So we could choose things like hull reinforcement, increases hull integrity by 50. I can hold in right mouse button to there's a lot here. You can see there's a lot here. Crew. Inspired workforce. High morale threshold. Bonuses are increased by plus 25%. We're not there yet. Active scan navigation is already researched. Combat. Rotate shield frequency. Reduces enemy shield penetration by minus 20%. We'll go ahead and research that, because why not? Okay. So let's back out of here. Let's back out of here. Go back to our system. Explore the tech tree and research any tech, which is what we're doing. Repair and activate the workshop, which is, I believe, also what we're doing. If I go back to ship, repairing, the workshop is somewhere. Ruined room. There it is. It's down here. All right, so it's going to take 3 cycles to do that, so we'll just come back here. We're full up there. Let's look for a planet with duranium. Oh, there's science. Yeah, we'll go there. Torpedo bay is ready to go. Workshop ready to go. Let's get that going right now. We can start production of the signal amplifier. All right. 5 duranium, 3 cycles to do that. So we can craft various things in this game as well. All right, back to the system view. We'll interact with that. Let's go with that. The safer option. 39. All right, that's good. And then we'll head to the science one as well there. It's nice and close. Scan the anomaly from a safe distance. Yeah, we'll do that. 20. Alright, we got 20 science there. So science points are produced in the science laboratory. Occasionally, they can also be obtained in away missions or points of interest, which is what we just did. They're required to research technologies in the tech tree. Scan. Alright, let's come here. Tractor beam to clean stuff up. Oof. 19, not great. We're at 74. Almost at our 100 capacity there. And the signal amplifier is completed. We should go back to Ocampa. Alright, well, let's do this. We'll take what we can. Alright, we're maxed out now, and we'll head back. We have a problem. Okay, so we have 40 cycles to accomplish a task. Build 1 quarters of your choice, build enough quarters to inhabit all of the crew, or not now. This is another one of those Frostpunky decision kind of things. We'll just go with 1 for right now. We've reached our destination. Let's go ahead and send an away team. We'll deal with the quarter thing after we get back. So Kess, it looks like, is mandatory to beam down. She's Ocampan. She's got medical training, so I'm not going to bring Paris, I think. We'll bring Tuvok and Chakotay. Okay. Alright, upon materializing near the tunnel entrance, a group of Kazon is already there, tinkering with the security barrier in frustration. As soon as they notice the away team, they draw their weapons. The cowards have returned. The Kazon look even more aggressive. Okay. Chase the Kazon away with phaser fire. Yeah, let's do that, because screw the Kazon. The away team quickly returns fire with their phasers. The Kazon, though initially confident, are surprised by the away team's strong resistance. After a short but intense firefight, the Kazon are forced to retreat. Yeah. Okay. We've reached the tunnel entrance. We'll just have Tuvok and Kess work on that together. Alright. The away team deploys the transporter signal amplifier. Okay, so it looks like they've made it into the Ocampan city. How should we proceed to find Harry and B'Elanna? Let's have Chakotay handle this by himself. Conduct a systematic search. Okay. So they quickly locate a medical facility where Harry and B'Elanna are being held. They find their crewmates awake but disoriented, surrounded by strange medical equipment. B'Elanna, wary of the unfamiliar faces, instinctively reaches for a weapon, but before any confrontation can occur, the ground starts to shake violently. A message from Captain Janeway cuts through the joy of reunion. The caretaker array has repositioned itself and is now firing at the tunnel entrance. Alright, time to leave. So, lead the team through the collapsing tunnels. We'll just have Chakotay do that. Alright, good. They dodge falling debris and leap over widening chasms. They reach the exit. Okay. The tremors are interfering with the signal amplifier's focus. The connection is constantly being interrupted. We can't beam out like this. Well, we'll team up there. Alright, the team analyzes the tremor's interference pattern and quickly recalibrates the transporter signals. Amplifier to compensate. Okay, so it looks like they materialize safely back on Voyager, and we are good to go. No critical successes, but we did pretty well otherwise. B'Elanna is now recruited. Miss Torres, welcome aboard Voyager. I'm Captain Catherine Janeway, and Ensign Kim, it's good to have you back in one piece. Alright. So what the heck is going on here, Chakotay? Since when are we cozying up to Starfleet? It's a long story. Let's say we had to compromise. Alright. So, ask if they know why they were sent to Ocampa. We woke up covered in strange ulcerations. The Ocampa said we were sent a way to prevent some kind of plague. Except we weren't sick before we met the guy. What a crock. They also said the caretaker had sent others with the same disease, but they didn't recover. They died. I want you both in sickbay now. Okay. Their condition is unusual. It appears to be a cellular disruption caused by the introduction of foreign genetic material. Their bodies are rejecting it. Okay. So long story short, the doctor is okay to fix them up. He's able to do that. They are going to make a full recovery. Okay. I'm trying to get as quickly through this as I can. I don't want this turning into a 4-hour video. Alright, so the caretaker provides for the Ocampa, yet remains on his array. It is logical to assume the provisions arrive through the energy pulses. Alright. He frequently mentions running out of time. The caretaker has sustained the Ocampa for millennia. Why this sudden urgency? My conclusion is that he does not intend to continue his role as caretaker. Okay. So long story short, the caretaker is dying, and he's trying to give Ocampa as much as possible before he passes on. Go watch Voyager. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright. Given the caretaker's reluctance to cooperate, a more assertive approach may be necessary. Okay, so it's telling me to repair things, which I've already repaired. Our offensive and defensive capabilities have been restored. I'm sure he wanted me to restore the shields and the phasers and torpedoes, so we're good to go there. Alright, so we're going to go to the... Yep. Heading back to the array. We've researched rotate shield frequency. Awesome. And at this point, I think we're nearing the end anyway, so I'm not going to bother researching anything else. But I am excited, though. I am excited to, like, research a bunch of stuff and... Alright. Back to the array. Forgot to build the crew quarters, but, again, demo. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alright, you have 25 cycles to accomplish this task. Sure. We've reached our destination. Continue. Moment of truth. Now, in my previous off-camera playthrough, I actually sent Voyager home via the caretaker. The dialogue was interesting, let me tell you. But today we're going to do what normally happened in the show, just because I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. All right. So now we're going to talk to the Kazon. We have no dispute with you, blah, blah, blah. Verbal sparring, blah, blah, blah. The array is mine, blah, blah, blah. Battle stations, okay. So now we've got this real-time battle that plays out. We don't get to control Voyager directly, but we can issue orders. So we're going to select heroes that we can activate. So Tuvok has the coordinated attack. Chakotay has a Maquis maneuver. I wish I could see what that did. Is it offensive? Is it defensive? I would love to see like what that is. Shield hacking. Rousing speech. Let's do telepathic attack. I'm curious to see what that's all about. Okay. Because Kes didn't really get into her telepathy stuff until later. Like season 3-ish. Okay. What are your orders? Okay, so we need to complete the tutorial steps. We'll get through that real quick. And offensive actions, there's weapons, shields, engines, warp core. If we do shields, I'm guessing that just boosts power to shields, but we don't want that. We want to shoot. So we'll do weapons. There we go. Again, I can't do anything. So now we've got these hero abilities on the bottom of the screen. We can activate them as they come off cooldown. So Chakotay, we'll go ahead and activate him. Torpedoes have to be fired manually. And that they really only affect their target when the shields are down. So we have to make sure that the shields are down on their target before we start using them. I think it was spacebar. But I'll wait until we get back to the front view. Enemy shields destroyed. Oh, that was quick. And you can see in the upper right, that's a bug. The phaser's constantly going off. But in the upper right, you can see the enemy's ship shields and the systems that are offline, all that good stuff. We can also change targets, I guess, with this. Alright, combat result, win. That went better than expected. Our raider is still in good shape. I'll keep it close by just in case the Kazon decide to show up. But here, there is strength in numbers. I have called for reinforcements. The array will be mine. I guess we don't have much time. Hail the array. Well, aren't you persistent? We need you to send us back to where we came from. Impossible. I have barely enough strength to complete my work. I must protect the Ocampa. If I don't, the Kazon will steal their water. They won't be able to survive. You must let go of the Ocampa. Did you ever consider allowing the Ocampa to care for themselves? They're children. Children grow up, they need challenges. Maybe the Ocampa are stronger than you think. Send us home. You've dragged us into this. You need to send us home. Captain, Jabin wasn't bluffing. His reinforcements have arrived. I could try to access the array system to transport us to the Alpha Quadrant. That's what I did in my offline playthrough. Okay. So the caretaker is telling me to destroy the array to prevent the Kazon from using it. Alright, the caretaker fades away. Clock is ticking. The Kazon are closing in. Shall I try to access the primary control system? I'm going to go ahead and destroy the array this time around. We never asked to be involved, but we are. I won't trade the lives of the Ocampa for our convenience. Lieutenant Tuvok, ready to try cobalt devices. What are you doing? The arrays are our only way out of here. You can't. I can and I will. Try cobalt devices ready. Fire. And thus begins the 70,000 light-year journey home. We'll find another way home, I promise. Who do you think you are making the decisions for all of us? It was the right decision, B'Elanna. The Ocampa, they remind me of our people. We were fighting a more powerful enemy to protect our own. The Ocampa deserve that too. 70,000 light years. We're really stranded, aren't we? Great. Now I'll definitely miss my next Outmeet review. A missed behavior review should not be your primary concern at the moment, Mr. Paris. Jabin is hailing us. You have made an enemy today. Mr. Paris, put some distance between us and this place. Okay. So, this actually didn't happen in my offline playthrough. The game ended at that point because Voyager got home. Go to the sector view. Set a course. Energy loss report. Okay. Warp core is back in gray mode. Ah, there's even more to explore here. That's really cool. Let's scan for resources. Yeah. We're in gray mode right now, so we really need to get that back up and running. We're back on emergency rations. Let's go ahead and use our tractor beam. There we go. 662. I think we're back. The crew is happy about the fulfilled promise, Captain. 200 morale. Okay. Now the question is, do I have to go back into my ship and... where is the mess hall? It's offline. We have to switch. So we have to manually go out of gray mode every time we are forced into it. That's good to know. So now we need to go to engineering. That's the main deflector. Engineering, there we go. Alright, we're back up and running. Oh, life support is disabled. Gotta turn that on. I hope in the future builds, I hope that they do some kind of like auto macro, like a configuration, as it were. Like if you are forced to go into gray mode, click of a button activates everything that you had up before, or configurations that you have preset. That would be really cool. All right, we'll switch back to premium replicator rations. That should help out. And then we're supposed to build crew quarters. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. 4 cycles to do that. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and head over to... head there. "70,000 light years from home. It seems we're in this together, Commander. Your decision didn't win you any friends, Kazon, Maquis, and Starfleet, but I respect you for it. Their anger is justified, but we have more pressing concerns. 2 crews on 1 ship stranded in the Delta Quadrant fighting for survival. I know a thing or two about survival. The Maquis are a motley crew. We had to learn to put our differences aside and work together to coexist. Well, I'd like to offer you the position of Voyager's first officer." Okay. "I'm learning to adapt. This is a new beginning, a chance to forge a new path together. Neelix, Kess, you wanted to see me. Do you need anything else before you leave? Supplies, water, medicine?" "That's what we wanted to discuss. We'd like to go with you. Before you say anything, Captain, we both very much want to be part of your journey. I can offer you so much in this sector. Need a guide, supplies, contacts, and a cook. You haven't lived until you've tasted my Anglo-Bosque, whatever. More than that, I can be your morale officer. Keep those smiles bright on this long voyage home." All right, that's quite an offer, Mr. Neelix. And Kess, what about you? What do you hope to gain from this journey? "I want to see the galaxy. There's so much out there I don't know. So much to explore and discover. I haven't mentioned it before, but the Ocampa once possessed telepathic powers. Generations of dependence on the caretaker have diminished them. Perhaps this journey could help me understand these abilities, learn more, and develop them. But I also want to help. After the doctor cured my wounds, I realized I want to help people too. Maybe I can learn from him, assist him in sickbay. I think the doctor would be glad to have you. All right, welcome aboard. It looks like we've stirred up trouble in a good way. Unexpected guests. A sudden distress call reveals Voyager's victory over Jabin sparked a mass escape from the Kazon slave camp. Janeway wastes no time ordering the desperate survivors to be beamed aboard. Neelix is surprised to find another Talaxian, Exbian, who was captured while exploring the Ocampa landscape, gratefully joins the growing crowd of survivors seeking the doctor's care. Interesting. Okay. Plus 13 crew. All right, everybody, listen up. Deliver speech. Overcome differences, unite as one. Stand strong as one crew, defend ourselves. Unite, explore. Yeah. Unite as one. Yeah, let's go with that. We're alone in the uncharted part of the galaxy, facing unknown dangers. We must work together to survive. Commander Chakotay and I have agreed to unite our crews as one Starfleet crew. Explore but fight our way home. Explore but duty calls us home. Chart new territories, seek solutions. Sure. As the only Starfleet vessel in the Delta Quadrant, we'll continue to chart new territories, unravel the secrets of this region, but our objective is to return home. 75 years is unacceptable. We will innovate. Never give up, find a way together. Adapt, overcome, reach home. Analyze, innovate, find a way. Let's do that. We'll search for advanced civilizations, wormholes, anomalies, and breakthroughs that can shorten our journey. We will analyze, innovate, discover. Somewhere along the journey, we will find our way back. Mr. Parrish, you've proven yourself a skilled pilot, a valued member of the crew. I hereby appoint you as our flight control officer. All right. Lieutenant Paris has a nice ring to it, don't you think? It sucks that Harry Kim was still an ensign after it was all said and done. It's sad. Okay. As first officer, as our first official act in your new position, Lieutenant Paris, set a new course. We're flying home. All right, you've reached the end of the demo. I can keep exploring if I want, but this being a demo, my save won't save. So there you go, folks. That was a quick look at Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. Looking forward to this title. Again, not perfect considering that, no voice acting, no original music, that stuff, but as long as the gameplay is good, as long as I can make various choices and my choices do actually matter. I published a video before, an analysis trailer that goes into detail on some of this content we haven't seen before in this demo, like getting crew members that normally wouldn't be crew members to work for us as like our primary crew. So it seems like we can really adjust the story. We can really change the story, and I'm looking forward to that. It'll give me a reason to play it over and over and over again. But anyway, for now, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.